So adding traits to gear in Throne of Liberty is one of the most convoluted systems in the game, and I think it's really poorly explained even by other guides out there. So I'm going to do my best to go through all of the aspects of trading in detail so that you come away from this video with a solid understanding of how trading works. So let's get right into it. So starting off with what trading is, basically, as you can see on these boots, you have your melee defense, range defense, evasion, and resistance, and then below that you have your traits. And you can see that one trait is unlocked, melee, evasion, and then you have two locked traits. So traits basically just add extra statistics onto each piece of gear. As you can see, all of my different pieces of gear have different traits on them, and this is something that you can control. This is definitely the pay to win aspect of Throne of Liberty. However, if you are free to play, you can definitely still do this part of the game. It will just take you longer, and you can't do it instantly. You will have to grind for some of your gear. So starting off, I guess we'll start off with the simplest thing. How do you get traits onto a piece of gear? So I took the liberty of buying the different traits that we need to trade out these Duskblood trousers. These aren't the best traits. I just bought the ones so that I could explain how it works. So you're going to want to go into your equipment enchanting by hitting the period key if you have it on the standard settings. Go to trading, and then you'll click on whatever piece of gear you want to trade out. So once you click on it, you'll be brought into this window, and you have your trait list over here on the left side, and then you have the materials that you have on the right side. So as you can see, we have a magic endurance 40 that came on this piece of gear. Each piece of gear just comes with one trait automatically unlocked from my understanding. So what I have here is I have an extract of the Duskblood trousers that is also magic endurance 40. So if you have a copy of the trait that is already on the trousers, then you can upgrade them so that it will go from trait tier 1 to trait tier 2. So it'll go from magic endurance 40 to magic endurance 80. So we can just hit enchant here, and you'll see that magic endurance 80, there's a 100% chance for that to go through. Now, you get 3 traits on each piece of gear. Once you get up to purple gear, I believe you get more traits, or maybe you just get more upgrades on the traits. But anyways, moving on to how do you unlock more traits? So you need a copy of the gear with the different trait on it, and it has to be an exact piece of the gear. If I wanted to upgrade the magic endurance more, I should have bought a different type, but I can buy any type of magic endurance 80. Any pants with that trait on them, I can put into these pants. And I'll show you how to find the cheapest one. If you click on whatever it is in your inventory, go into your trait list, and then we were doing magic endurance. You click on the search auction house traits for magic endurance. It will have purple, but you can make sure that it's only on your rares. And then we can go specifically down to legs. It will show you the cheapest trait extracts for that specific trait. So for example, I'll just buy this for the video's sake, just to show y'all how it works. We can go back into our trait menu and go to our pants, and see these aren't the same pants, but they have magic endurance on them, so we can still put it on and fully trade out or fully upgrade magic endurance on these pants. So moving on to how do you unlock a new trait? For this, you do need the exact same piece of pants with the trait that you want. It can't be a different type of pants with the trait that you want. It has to be the exact same. When you're upgrading, it can be any type of pants, but when you're adding an extra trait, it has to be the same type of pants. So we're going to hit unlock trait. And as you can see, we added debuff duration onto these pants. Now we can use, again, another type of the same pants, or it could have been any other pants as we went before to upgrade it. So moving on to our last trait, we can unlock our third trait. And I wanted to show something specific. You don't have to upgrade traits with the same color of trait, actually. It can be a different color. However, it does have to be the same color for unlocking a trait. So you'll see we have magic evasion as our third trait on these pants, and we're going to unlock this. But as you'll see, once I have it unlocked, I actually have 5 green pairs of pants that have the magic evasion on them, and we'll be able to put it into here and have a chance at upgrading instead of 100% chance. So we'll unlock this trait. And you see how I have all these green pants with magic evasion on them? You can actually use these to upgrade pants. However, you can't use these to unlock because obviously they're not the same type of pants. So, however, there's not a 100% chance of upgrading this trait tier. So it may say in this, I've never actually read through the entire blessing thing. You can read through this in your own time. I don't want to use up your precious time in doing that. So anyways, we're going to try to enchant this and see if it goes through. So we got an 8% blessing. This is like your pity system. It obviously did not upgrade. So we're going to use the next one and see if it goes through. And also, this is where you use your blessing. So as you can see, our base percent chance rate is 10%. However, if we use the blessing, then we get an extra 8%. So it would be an 18% total. So I will use the blessing just to show you how it works. It will use up the blessing, I believe. So the upgrade was unsuccessful and we did use up our blessing. However, we have new blessing because again, the last one was unsuccessful. So let's use this enchant and just get more blessing. So we will click enchant on this one. And as you can see, we'll get more blessing, and then we'll click enchant on this one. And again, get more blessing. And now we can use all of our blessing for a 34% chance for these pants to go through. So let's see if it works. So it worked. So anyways, it took 5 green pieces to get it to upgrade. And you know, you can do the math on whether it's worth it or not. So for example, if you weren't using any blessing and you were just going to put, you know, 10 green pieces in, you'd have a 1 out of 10% chance. Not 1 out of 10%. What am I saying? 1 out of 10 chance to get it, but you can do that 10 times. So you may get it before you spend the 100 Lucent, because 10 is the minimum amount of Lucent for trait extracts in the auction house. But yeah, so it's sort of up to you whether you want to use a lower piece of gear. It can be cheaper. It could also be more expensive. It just sort of depends. Personally, at least when you're trading out blue gear, the traits for blue gear are so cheap that it's generally cheaper to just straight up buy the blue traits, because as you saw, the blue traits on the auction house, you know, if we just take a look at them real quick, say we go to like max health. Max health might be a bad example because sometimes it can be more expensive than other ones. But see, these are like 25, and then maybe if we go down to uncommon, these are all 10. So, you know, there is a little bit of a price difference, but it's not so big that it's not, because 10, you need like 10 of these to get the trait to upgrade, whereas you need only like 1 of the blue ones, so it's not worth it to go with the green ones. But that can matter when you're trying to trade out your purples later on, so it is important to keep in mind that you can use lower level gear to trade out your equipment, and I think that that is something that a lot of people don't cover in their trading guides. So you have these fully traded out, not fully traded, but mostly traded out a gear piece, and then you can equip it and, you know, make sure that you're trading it out with whatever traits you want. So we're not exactly done yet. If we go into trading, there are a number of other things that you can do. You can do trait conversion. So you can use your conversion stones to either have a conversion chance to, you know, ranged evasion, ranged endurance, or max health. Or you can do a guaranteed trait conversion if you have a copy of the trait that you want to convert it to. And so trait conversion is basically useful if you get a drop with a trait that you do not want on your gear. So let's go through what traits are good on what pieces of gear. It depends completely on your build, but generally the best traits right now are like max health, melee endurance, ranged endurance, sometimes magic endurance depending on the gear set. And, it also for capes, you want like debuff duration. Generally a good way to check, like what the meta is for different types of gear is if you go to trait extraction and then you go and search all the traits for a piece of gear, the best ones will be the most expensive. So max health, skill damage resistance, and debuff duration are all of the best traits for a cape. So that's personally, like if you just have no idea and you're not following a guide, that's personally how I would decide whether a trait is worth trading on a piece of gear or not. Though also personally, because I'm trying to make as much Lucent as I can, I would just sell all the traits that are worth a lot right now, and you can trade them out for a lot cheaper later on when it actually matters. But yeah, so it completely depends on your build set. For weapons, hit chance, critical hit chance are both really, really good. Again, we can go into our weapons and check, what traits are selling for the most. If we go to, we'll just go on these because we don't have them equipped, and just take a search at what is selling for the most. So heavy attack chance, hit chance, and then critical hit chance are all selling for the most, with heavy attack chance like twice as much as the other ones. So that is something to keep in mind. Trading out weapons is slightly different than different pieces of gear. When you're trading out some leggings, you have to have leggings to trade it out. With weapons, it doesn't have to be another greatsword to trade out a greatsword. It can be any other weapon with, heavy attack chance, for example. So just keep that in mind. You don't have to stay on the same type of weapon. That's something that I see a lot of people not mentioning as well. And you can really save yourself a lot of Lucent to be able to trade out your gear. So you may be wondering, how do you get the Lucent to buy the traits on the auction house to be able to trade out your gear? And I'd say I do have a guide just completely off of Farming Lucent, so you can go to that. I'll have it linked at the end of this video. However, if just, you know, a quick aside on how to make Lucent, basically you're going to go to any of your open world dungeons. So say you go to Shadowed Crypt or Sirius is Abyss or the Ants or Ceradome Island, any of them work, and you're going to want to just find gear that has traits that sell for a lot. You're going to trait extract them just by clicking them on them and using your trait extract stone, and then you're going to go into your auction house and sell them right here, and this will show you what traits you can sell. So as you can see, I have all of these being sold on the auction house. The majority of greens are only selling for 10, and it takes one trait extract stone to extract a trait from a green item. So a 1 trait extract stone to a 10 Lucent is usually a pretty good ratio to aim for. So you may be asking, how do you get trait extract stones? You can get them from the Ornate coin shop. That's one place, and then like one of the other merchants sells them as well. I believe it may be the contract coin merchant. We'll just take a quick look over here just to show y'all where to buy them. Yeah, so you can buy trait extract stones. As you can see, I've been buying quite a few of them from the contract coin merchant as well. So that is how you get the Lucent to be able to trade out your gear. And then this is really, really important. You know, there are a lot of guides out there on how to find purple gear. And if you're swiping and spending money on the game, then that can be good for you. But guys, it's really, really important to know that a fully traded piece of blue gear, like these gauntlets, is way stronger than a not traded out piece of purple gear. Unless the purple gear has like something like a special ability, like some of the purple weapons are definitely worth switching to, but unless it has a special ability, you should fully trade out your blue gear before you before you transfer to purple gear at all. It's way stronger. It's a lot cheaper to trade out blue gear. As you saw, most of the trades for like 10 Lucent a piece, so really, really cheap. So yeah, so make sure you're fully trading out your blue gear before you switch to purple gear. A lot of guides are getting this wrong right now, and it's going to screw up a bunch of people in this game, especially if it's people who want to do PvP and want to be as strong as they can early on. So anyways, I think that's pretty much everything on traits. I'll stop rambling. I hope that you found this guide comprehensive and it covered everything that you need to know about traits. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Thank you so much for all the recent support on all my videos. It really means the world to me. And yeah, I'll have the Farming Lucent guide linked at the end of this video just so you can go somewhere next. So anyways, thank you so much for watching. I hope you'll have a wonderful day, and I'll see you next time.